2024 presidential race is fast approaching, and Republicans are returning to a familiar and famous question for voters. Take a look.
As Ronald Reagan famously asked us, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? The answer for hardworking Americans across the country is a resounding no.
The Republican plan is to ask the voters of our battleground states, in fact, of all 50 states, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And the answer is clearly no.
I don't think any American can tell you that they are better off today than they were 4 years ago. That's just not going to happen.
Well, then the Biden administration dropped a reminder of exactly where we were 4 years ago.
And then I see the disinfectant, and is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside?
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your response to this crisis?
I'd rate it a 10. I think we've done a great job.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. Yeah, no, I don't take responsibility at all. We're doing, I think, really, really well.
I'll tell you what, Al, 1,000 Americans are dying a day.
They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
So why is it that some people are having short memory issues? There are plenty of other reasons to feel good about where we actually are. So why isn't that tracking?
Well, by the way, that triggers me to see the injecting police press conference at some point. I'll tell you guys the backstory of how I tried to stop that in the West Wing. But listen, Republicans are committing malpractice here. 4 years ago, we were literally hoarding toilet paper. Like, let's just remember that. But to put on my Trump, Republican hat, I think when Republicans and
Wait a minute,
don't put a Trump. Blow it up. Okay, my Republican hat.
Your Republican hat.
Republicans talk fondly about the Trump era. They're talking pre-pandemic. They think, I had more money in my 401k. The economy was doing well. There were market gains. Is juxtaposed to now, where the economy is objectively doing better by most macro measures, but there's this huge issue of grocery prices that voters feel. So that's kind of what's going on there. But I would say this, when I watch that ad, it just brings back to mind the single greatest accomplishment of the Trump administration was Operation Warp Speed in getting the vaccine, and he doesn't talk about it because he wants to appeal to anti-vaxxers on the right and not take credit for what actually helped us get out of the pandemic.
And I thought that Democratic ad, the response was brilliant. I think the Democrats need to do more in getting the message out that yes, we actually are better off right now because of all of the things that Biden has done. But I will say this, while Trump may have, came up with this Operation Warp Speed, which I don't know why he came up with that term, I do believe that he is responsible for mishandling the pandemic so much that over 1 million Americans died, including my in-laws. And it is in large part because he had his son-in-law, who shouldn't have been in the White House in the first place, handling the response. Someone with absolutely no medical experience. And the one person, Dr. Fauci, who you think very highly of and he thinks very highly of you, was basically silenced by the White House. And so I also think that the Democrats can do even more with how terrible for the 4 years under Trump truly were.
There was an article the other day that asked, does America have amnesia? And so I think the Republicans asking this question gave an opening for Democrats to remind the country where we were 4 years ago. And you know what?
Looking at the question that most voters are asking is that the Republicans are asking most voters that 4 years ago, how was your life? How can you compare your life compared to now? And the women in the view did not find that funny. They come up with their own opinion. They were not happy about that. According to Whoopi, they have a lot of important things going. Not something to come and be asking that 4 years ago, how was your life? There are more important things to talk about because 4 years ago, many people were not in a happy place. Although Whoopi explained that was a stupid question, it was an irrelevant question for them to ask. Because you have people that came to the country like migrants, that came for a better life. But 4 years ago, it wasn't good at all for them, because you know the immigration was very strict, and it wasn't nice to people like migrants that were coming, immigrants that were coming from another country to come and look for greener pasture. Whoopi went ahead, and they have that everybody have their own different type of experience during 4 years. The women in the view have different varieties of different experience they went through. 4 years ago, that was COVID-19, and we could see a lot of people. Somebody like Sarah say she was always in mass, or she was jumping from one place to another. She could not travel to meet her loved one like her parents. Automatically she became depressed. She was a shadow of herself. We all know during that period, that COVID-19, a lot of people committed suicide, a lot of people divorced, a lot of people died. It's even said that a lot of children were being abused by the people they live with. A lot of children were left with their abuser rather than going to school, according to some people. So it wasn't a good area at all, because many things, people did not have fresh air. You know, fresh air and natural air will even make your brain to have a different, to formulate differently. But people were always in closure. You have somebody like Anna said during that period, she herself was always on the internet. She wanted to buy on Amazon, to buy paper tissue. She was always scared because she didn't know what President Donald Trump was going to say next, cause such a chaos. She thought World War IV was going to start, and the next World War was going to be in America, because of a tweet that the president will give that will make someone and to be angry and come after them. But now, since after the president is no more, obviously President Biden, she can sleep and get up at any time. She doesn't even care to check out the tweet. Another person experienced like Sony said she lost her in-laws, they died, and it wasn't a good experience because many people really lost their life at that time. Someone like Farah said that was not a good question for Republicans to be asking, especially at such a moment like this. So that was a no-go area. Automatically, what do you really think? What do you think about this question? Whoopi said that that's a question because they could ask for people who are no more. Then they go and ask them how they feel, no more to be in this world. So actually, what do you think? Can I see your own opinion in the comment section? What do you really think actually? That 4 years ago, many people say they were not in a better place. The COVID-19. The Republicans, according to Farah, they are forgotten and they have amnesia because they are thinking about before COVID, like pre-COVID, like what happened. They have money in their 401k, but they're talking about COVID-19 started 2019. Everybody knows that. So how was their life? It was a horrifying experience. You that you're watching, what do you think? How was your own life 4 years ago? Can I see your own experience you have 4 years ago on the comment section? Thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please help subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.